Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good. I hope everything's well at your end. Guys, I want to go straight into this. Uh, Before I go straight into it, actually, tomorrow, I'm uploading a video about Jamel Charlo and Castano. So stay tuned for that. A video will be uploaded. Um, I'm going to give my prediction for that fight. So that's probably going to be uploaded around 4 o'clock tomorrow. And hopefully I'm going to be doing a video about Josh Taylor and Gervonta Davis, where Josh Taylor says he'll smash Gervonta Davis to pieces. I want to talk about that. So I'm going to do a video on those two tomorrow. So you'll see that uploaded. Then tomorrow also, we'll be doing the live stream. Now today, I had a few things that came up, so I wasn't able to do the live stream, but that will definitely happen tomorrow. 100% we will go live tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. We will go live, with no question tomorrow for sure. But in this video, I want to talk about a fight, or not really a fight, comments that Jake Paul made. Now, a lot of people say don't give Jake Paul attention. He doesn't deserve it. He's not a proper boxer. He's not a proper fighter. But he's getting a lot of attention, and he's a big name. He's a big name. Might not be a big name in terms of a world level fighter, but he's managing to really grow his name and grow his reputation as an athlete now. A lot of people aren't happy by that. A lot of people think that, he shouldn't be getting the opportunities. You get a lot of boxers are not happy with it because they feel that, they've earned or they've worked all their lives to put themselves in a position, and this guy's coming from another background, not having put in the work, and he's getting all these opportunities. Jake Paul's marketed himself very, very well, and he's a massive draw. So as a broadcaster, it makes a lot of sense for them financially to put him on, because they know that they're going to do a big numbers. They're going to get a lot of traction. They're going to make a lot of money. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you put him on or as a a main event, because you know that it's going to do great business for you. Now, Jake Paul made some comments recently on a show, Undisputed in America. It's a show that Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp host. They're the presenters of the show, and Jake Paul made some comments in that, saying that in 3 years' time, he would like to fight Canelo and take down Canelo. A lot of people, obviously, as you can imagine, laughed at those comments. They were like, this guy's delusional. He's talking nonsense. And Jake Paul, to me, I know people say that, he's this, that, and the other. But I actually think, when he talks to these people like Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, he comes across very intelligent, and he's a very smart guy. Now, do I think he has any chance against Canelo Alvarez in 5 or 10, or it doesn't matter how much experience he gets? No. But basically, he said that, I'm a big name, I'm a big star, and that fight financially makes a lot of business sense. And as we know, if it makes business sense, if it makes money, it happens. Jake Paul was spot on there. That if the fight is big enough, the fight will happen without question. And the fight between Paul and Canelo would be massive. Probably because a lot of people would want to see Canelo beat and knock out Jake Paul. But what Jake Paul said, that when guys first get into boxing, when Muhammad Ali first got into boxing and he made his debut, and Floyd Mayweather and all these guys got into boxing, they all fought guys that weren't that great. They all had padded records early on. And he's doing the same. Obviously, this is a guy that doesn't have the amateur experience that some of those names had, those great fighters. But Jake Paul is putting in the work behind the scenes. It's not like he's just doing this as a joke. He's actually putting in a lot of work. And that's why he's improved. He's actually training hard like a professional fighter would do. Right? That doesn't mean he's going to go on to become a world champion, because I don't think personally he'll be good enough to get to that level. If he does, he would shock me and shock a lot of people, shock a lot of boxing fans. And that would be some achievement. Even if he gets like to world level, fringe world level, that would be some achievement. But him having a goal in his head to fight Canelo Alvarez, I guess that would be the goal for anyone. Because if you want to become a professional boxer, you want to fight the best. You want to fight the biggest guys, especially when you're a massive star in your own right. Because Jake Paul's a huge star in his own right. He's a massive superstar. He's wealthy, so he doesn't need to box. He's doing it because he wants to do it. He's putting in the work and he doesn't need to do it. He doesn't need to be in the gym training hard. He doesn't need to. He's got other opportunities out there for him where he can make a lot of money. He doesn't need boxing. Yet he's still putting in the work. He's still grafting. So I know a lot of people are going to call Jake Paul delusional by saying in 3 years' time he feels he can beat Canelo. The fact of the matter is that it makes a lot of money. That fight would make a lot of money. Now, I don't know whether Canelo would entertain that, because Canelo is somebody that seems to be fixed on creating a legacy. He seems to be fixed on becoming one of the greatest. And I don't know whether a fight with Jake Paul really would really move the needle for him. I think Canelo Alvarez is somebody that wants to fight guys like Beterbiev, Bivol, guys like that are going to enhance his legacy, that are going to, when people talk about him in the future of how great he was, people say he was one of the greatest ever. That's how Canelo wants to be remembered. And being involved in a fight with Jake Paul, he may think might hurt his legacy. And I think Canelo, it's not necessarily all about the money, it's about legacy. So I'm not sure Canelo would entertain that. But obviously, if Jake Paul becomes a credible fighter. See, right now, Jake Paul's not even fighting professional fighters. He fought a basketball player in his first fight. Then he fought a out-of-shape MMA fighter. Now he's fighting a guy that is a little bit more dangerous. He's an MMA fighter, but a little bit more dangerous in some people's eyes. If he beats him, then we need to see him fight a proper boxer. And then, obviously, we need to see how he develops and where his career goes as a fighter, how seriously and how good he can become. Because he's not a fight with Canelo, he'd have to become significantly good. Because otherwise it would be dangerous. I don't even think that fight should be sanctioned. Because if you were to put Jake Paul in with Canelo right now, that would be dangerous. But if Jake Paul in 4 or 5 years, 3-4 years time, 5 years time, becomes a world level fighter, becomes a fringe world level fighter, then the fight all of a sudden makes sense. But Jake Paul would have to beat a lot of credible fighters. For me, Jake Paul would have to beat top level fighters. For example, he'd have to beat guys like Badu Jack, for example, which, I can't see him beating Badu Jack. Badu Jack's a world-class fighter. But that's the kind of level he would have to be for him to warrant or get a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Or to show that he's a legitimate boxer. Because let's not forget, there are going to be concerns around him because people don't think he's a boxer. And it's going to take, if he wants to become a proper boxer and be taken seriously, he's going to have to beat top-level guys. He's going to have to beat top fringe world-level boxers, fighters that people think are good for him to get seen as a professional boxer. Otherwise, if he keeps fighting Tyron Woodley and fighting these guys, nobody is really going to give him credit because they're not fighters. They're not boxers. So, like I said, and even when he eventually starts fighting boxers after the Woodley fight, he might fight a boxer. It's not going to be any top level boxer that we've heard of. It's going to be an unknown guy. So he's going to have a lot of those fights before he fights anyone close to any kind of level or anyone that we've heard of, because he's just not he's not got the experience. I do think Jake Paul has a little ability. I know some people think he has no ability. No, he does have some ability, and with hard work, he can definitely improve that. The question is, how far can he go? Do I think he'll get as far where he could command a Canelo fight? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But that's for him to prove. And I feel like we as boxing fans should give someone opportunity. I feel like boxing fans are very quick to just like write somebody off. Give the guy an opportunity if he's willing to put in the work. And then if he does fail, then fair enough. But give the guy the opportunity at least. Don't just write him off. And that's what I think with Jake Paul. I'm actually... I know a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with Jake Paul fighting and getting all this attention. A lot of the hardcore boxing fans don't like it. I haven't got a problem with it, because if he's putting in the work in the gym and grafting away and he makes a career for himself in the sport of boxing, I haven't got a problem with that, because he's putting in the graft, he's putting in the hard yards just like any professional boxer is. Now, I feel like a lot of people are hating on him because he's not like a novice coming through, because they don't have the attention, the fame, the money that Jake Paul has. So people think he's kind of getting a leg up. But that's what it is. He's managed to build that name, that fame. He's managed to build that profile. So he deserves credit for that. So now he can use that in the sport of boxing. He can use the money that he's earned in other businesses that he has to get the best sparring, to get the best coaching, to get the best team. Whereas a novice coming through doesn't have that. So I personally think, Jake Paul, I haven't got a problem with Jake Paul, fighting. Do I think, obviously him calling out Canelo in 3 years' time, I think he's got to make statements like that, because he's letting us know what his goals are and ambitions are and what he wants to do in boxing. He's trying to get himself out there, So I don't blame him. But let's see how Jake Paul's boxing career plays out. Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.